Windows. It is the most widely used desktop operating system in the world, made by Microsoft and first released in 1985. Originally, it was just a graphical layer sitting on top of MS-DOS, but over the decades, it grew into something far more complete. Today, Windows runs on the vast majority of personal computers globally, from office machines to gaming rigs. Its strength has always been compatibility. It supports an enormous range of hardware and software, which is why businesses and everyday users keep coming back to it. The trade-off is that this openness also makes it a frequent target for malware and viruses. macOS, Apple's desktop operating system, has been around in various forms since the early 1980s, though the version we know today was rebuilt from the ground up in 2001. It runs exclusively on Apple's own hardware, which gives Apple tight control over how the software and machine work together. That integration is what makes macOS feel smooth and consistent. It shares deep roots with Unix, meaning it's stable and well-suited for developers and creative professionals. Designers, video editors, and musicians have gravitated toward it for years, partly for that stability, and partly for the quality of Apple's own applications. Linux. Unlike the others, Linux is not owned by any single company. It was created in 1991 by a Finnish student named Linus Torvalds, who released it freely to the public. What makes Linux fundamentally different is that its source code is open. Anyone can read it, modify it, and distribute their own version. Those versions are called distributions, and there are hundreds of them, from Ubuntu and Fedora to Arch and Debian. Linux powers most of the world's servers, supercomputers, and cloud infrastructure. Ordinary users tend to avoid it because it requires more technical comfort, but among developers and system administrators, it is deeply trusted. Unix. Before Linux, before Windows, there was Unix. It was developed at Bell Labs in the late 1960s and became one of the most influential pieces of software ever written. Unix introduced ideas like the file system hierarchy, piping commands together, and the philosophy that small programs should do one thing well. It was not free, and over time, different companies made their own proprietary versions. macOS traces its lineage back to it, and Linux was designed to behave like it. Most modern operating systems carry Unix's fingerprints in some form, even when they don't advertise it. DOS, the disk operating system, was the standard environment for personal computers through much of the 1980s. Microsoft's version, MS-DOS, became dominant when IBM chose it for their early PCs. There was no visual interface. Users typed commands into a plain text prompt to run programs, copy files, or navigate the machine. It was simple by necessity, built for hardware that had very little memory or processing power. DOS faded once graphical interfaces became practical, but it laid the commercial foundation that made Microsoft what it is today. Android, Google's mobile operating system, now runs on more devices than any other OS on the planet. It was built on top of the Linux kernel and first appeared on phones in 2008. One of Android's defining features is openness. Google allows hardware manufacturers to customize and adapt it, which is why Android looks and behaves differently, depending on whether you pick up a Samsung, a Sony, or a Motorola. That flexibility helped it spread rapidly across every price range and market. It dominates globally, especially in regions where affordable smartphones matter most. iOS, Apple's operating system for the iPhone, launched in 2007 alongside the original device, and it changed what people expected from a phone. iOS is built to be tightly controlled. Apple decides what hardware it runs on, what apps can be distributed, and how deeply third-party software can interact with the system. Critics call it restrictive, supporters call it secure and consistent. The reality is that this closed approach gives Apple enormous influence over the mobile software industry, and the App Store it created became one of the most profitable digital marketplaces ever built. ChromeOS. Google built this operating system around a simple idea. Most of what people do on a computer happens in a web browser. ChromeOS launched in 2011 and runs almost entirely through Google's Chrome browser with cloud storage handling most of the heavy lifting. It is lightweight, fast to boot, and very difficult to compromise, With malware, Chromebooks running ChromeOS became especially popular in schools because they are inexpensive and easy to manage in large numbers. Over time, Google has added the ability to run Android apps and even some Linux software, giving it more flexibility than it had at the start. FreeBSD. This is an operating system that most people have never heard of by name, yet they have almost certainly used software that depends on it. FreeBSD descended from the original Unix, developed at Berkeley in the 1970s and 1980s. It is known for being extremely stable, efficient with network traffic, and well-suited to servers and infrastructure. Netflix has used it to handle a significant portion of its streaming traffic. Sony's PlayStation consoles run a system based on it. It exists in the background of modern technology, quietly doing work that demands reliability above everything else. RTOS, a real-time operating system, is built for one specific purpose: responding to inputs within a guaranteed, predictable time frame. Standard operating systems like Windows or Linux are not designed to promise that a task will complete within a precise number of microseconds. An RTOS can make that promise, which is why it runs inside pacemakers, anti-lock braking systems, aircraft flight controls, and industrial machinery. Speed matters less than consistency. Missing a deadline in a general-purpose OS might slow your video. Missing a deadline in a medical device could cost a life. That difference in consequence is exactly why RTOS exists as its own category.